Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing well. We're continuing our Wayside School is Falling Down series. We're at chapter 10. It's called Music. Benjamin still hadn't told anybody he was Mark Miller. He wasn't Mark Miller. His grades had never been better. Mark Miller is a lot smarter than Benjamin Nushmut, he thought. When they chose up teams for kickball, he was always the first one picked. Mark Miller's a better kicker than Benjamin Nushmut, he realized. The girls in the class liked him too. Mark Miller is better looking than Benjamin Nushmut, he decided, but unfortunately he knew he had to tell Mrs. Jules his real name. He sighed, then slowly raised his hand. Mrs. Jules gave him a tambourine. He had been so busy thinking about his problem, he hadn't noticed that Mrs. Jules was passing out musical instruments when she had just asked who would like the tambourine. So when he raised his hand, she gave it to him. Who would like the triangle? Asked Mrs. Jules. Joe raised his hand, and Mrs. Jules gave it to him. Why is it called a triangle? Asked Joe. I don't know, said Mrs. Jules. Maybe because it's shaped like a triangle, suggested John. No, that can't be it, said Mrs. Jules. Then the tambourine would have to be called a circle. Maybe it was invented by a person by the name of Joe Triangle, said Rodney. That's probably it, said Mrs. Jules. She held up the next instrument. It was a Glockenspiel. Who would like the Glockenspiel? She asked. Sherry raised her hand. Nobody asked why it was called a Glockenspiel, for obvious reasons. Mrs. Jules gave the bell to Stephen. Why are they called bells? He asked. Nobody knew. Joy got the bongo drums, Todd got the bass drum, Jenny snared the snare drum, and Leslie got the kettle drum. When they banged on them, it hurt everybody else's eardrums. Mrs. Jules gave one cymbal to Calvin and the other cymbal to BB. DJ got the gong. The three Erics got kazoos. Mrs. Jules shouted, Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. The children all played their instruments at the same time. They shook, they rattled, they rocked and rolled. Joy bonged her bongos. DJ gonged the gong. Sherry glockened the glockenspiel. Stephen jingled his bells. Calvin and BB slapped their cymbals together, and Joe's triangle went ting. But something didn't sound right. What's wrong, Mark? Mrs. Jules shouted over the music. Why aren't you playing your tambourine? My name's not Mark, said Benjamin. It's Benjamin Nushmut. I'm sorry for not telling you before. What? Asked Mrs. Jules. I can't hear you. My name isn't Mark, he said. It's Benjamin. Louder, said Mrs. Jules. So all the children started to play louder. Todd bashed his bass drum. Leslie cooked on the kettle drum. Calvin and BB crashed their cymbals together, and Joe's triangle went ting. My name is Benjamin, shouted Benjamin. Mrs. Jules put her hand to her ear. Louder, she said, so the children started to play louder even more. DJ gabonged his gong. Joy chacooned her bongos. Paul slacked the castanets. Jenny spaghettied her snare drum. Calvin and BB whammered their cymbals, and Joy's triangle went ting. My name is Benjamin Nushmut, hollered Benjamin. Louder, said Mrs. Jules, so all the children played even louder. The three Erics screamed in their kazoos. Calvin and BB ran to the opposite side of the room with their cymbals, then they charged towards each other. Suddenly, the door flew open, and a man entered. Benjamin had never seen him before. The whole class became very quiet. It was Mr. Kidswater, the principal of Wayside School. Calvin and BB screeched to a halt just in time. Their cymbals were less than an inch apart. Is something the matter, Mr. Kidswater? Asked Mrs. Jules. Several teachers have complained about music, said Mr. Kidswater. Their students are having trouble hearing. I understand, said Mrs. Jules. Good, said Mr. Kidswater, and he walked out of the room. Okay, you heard Mr. Kidswater, said Mrs. Jules. We'll have to play even louder so everyone can hear. Unos, dos, tres, cuatro. They shook, they rattled, they rocked and rolled. Benjamin trampled his tambourine. Excellent, Mark, shouted Mrs. Jules. He smiled. He had never played so well before. Mark Miller is a much better musician than Benjamin Nushmut, he thought. Chapter 11, Kathy and DJ. Down on the playground, Kathy was singing her favorite song. Wayside School is falling down, falling down, falling down. Wayside School is falling down, my fair lady. As she was singing, DJ was walking across the playground with his head down. "Hi, Dr. Jolly," said Louis. Louis called DJ Dr. Jolly because he was always smiling. But now DJ's smile was upside down. He looked up at Louis. Louis had never seen such a sad face. "What's wrong?" he asked. DJ just shook his head, then looked back down at the ground and sadly walked away. Louis felt like crying. "Hey, Louis, what's wrong with DJ?" asked Ron. "He's so sad," said Dee Dee. "I don't know," said Louis, shaking his head. "Hey, you guys want to play kickball?" "No, thanks," said Dee Dee. "I can't have fun when DJ is so unhappy." "Me neither," said Ron. Across the playground, all the children quit their games when they saw DJ. Nobody could have fun when DJ looked so sad, except for Kathy. She kept singing. "People will be hurt and hurt, hurt and hurt when Wayside School is falling down, falling down. Wayside School is falling down, my fair lady." The bell rang, and DJ sadly looked up at the school and sighed. "Hey, DJ, snap out of it," said Myron. DJ stared through his friend. "You want to walk up the stairs with us, Dojo?" asked Damon. DJ shook his head. "I need to be alone," he mumbled. Damon and Myron looked at each other, then started up the stairs, leaving their sad friend behind. DJ headed up on, but stopped halfway because the 9th and 10th floors. He decided to sit down. He lowered his face into his hands, and he started to cry. A moment later, someone burst out laughing. DJ opened his eyes, and he saw Kathy standing over him. "You shouldn't sit on the stairs." "That's stupid," said Kathy. "I almost kicked you in the head." DJ always called DJ stupid. She didn't like DJ because he was always smiling. Now she was glad to see him be sad. "Hi, Kathy," said DJ. She plopped down on the stairs next to him. "What happened?" she asked. "Did your dog pass away?" she laughed. DJ shook his head. "Are your parents ill?" "Did your house burn down?" "No," said DJ. "My great-grandfather gave me a gold watch. It was over 100 years old. I brought it to school today and—" "You lost it!" Kathy exclaimed with delight. DJ sadly nodded. Kathy laughed. "Oh boy, are you going to be in trouble." She rubbed her hands together. "Your parents will ground you forever." "No, my parents never punish me," said DJ. "They know that I learn from my mistakes." "Oh," said Kathy, a little disappointed. "But your great-grandfather, he'll be really mad, and he'll never give you another present for the rest of your life, not even on your birthday." "No," said DJ. "He loves me no matter what I do. He likes people, not things." Again, Kathy was disappointed. "But the watch was worth a lot of money. I bet that watch was worth a lot of money," she tried. "And you'll have to pay for it out of your allowance." She laughed, thinking that she had gotten the best of him. "I don't get an allowance," said DJ. "I don't like money." Kathy frowned. Still, she knew there had to be some reason why he was so sad about losing the watch. "You never know what time it is," she squawked. "So, time isn't real," said DJ. Kathy didn't know what DJ meant by that, but she didn't care. "Well, if you don't know what time it is, you're going to miss all of your favorite television shows." "I don't have a favorite television show," said DJ. "I never watch television." He thought for a moment. "I'm not sure if we even have a TV in the house. Maybe there's one in the closet somewhere." Kathy glared at him. "Well then, how come you're so sad?" "Because you lost that dumb watch." "I'm afraid a bird might think it's food and it might choke on it," said DJ. "Is that all?" asked Kathy. DJ smiled. "I guess you're right. A bird probably won't choke. In fact, he could use it to make a nest. I hope so, don't you?" He hopped to his feet. "Thanks for talking to me, Kathy. I feel a lot better now. You're a good friend." He hurried up to Mrs. Jewell's room, taking the stairs 2 and 3 at a time. As DJ's smile turned up, Kathy's smile turned down. She followed up after him, grumbling to herself. "He doesn't like money. He doesn't worry about time. He never watches television. Why is he always so happy?" Everyone in Mrs. Jewell's class cheered when they saw DJ enter the room smiling. Kathy walked behind him, and she was frowning. Mrs. Jewell was getting ready to show a movie, and she gave DJ a piece of black construction paper. "Hey, look," said Myron. "Oddly found a watch." Oddly was the bird that came onto the windowsill at Wayside School. Oddly dropped the watch on the windowsill. Kathy couldn't believe it. "It's DJ's!" Myron gave the watch to DJ. "Here, you can have it, Kathy," said DJ with a big smile. "It's worth a lot of money, In this way, you won't miss any of your favorite television shows. Kathy took the watch from him and put it around her wrist. It'll probably make my skin turn green, she groused. Mrs. Jewell started the movie projector. Stephen turned off the lights. Damon pulled down the shades. DJ held the piece of black construction paper under his nose because his smile was so bright. Next time we reach chapter 12 and 13. Have a great rest of the day.